Three, two, one. Hello, I'm the Woman's Robot, and I'm joined with
Gabriel, what's up?
not much. I'm an INTP, as you may have guessed,
Mm-hmm.
and Gabriel over here is
INTJ.
right. And today we've got robot wars. Instead of robots fighting each other, it's people that think they're smart.
Yeah.
So we've got some questions. We're gonna go through them and try and figure it out. I guess we'll be arguing to see which one of us is the smartest out of each other.
Yeah.
And we're going to be arguing for the group as well.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably be separate segments. Probably.
I feel like it's gonna be pretty much the same. Pretty
It
much
is-
the
I
same
am-
answer.
No, because it's like we're going to be different to like different members of our group.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be INTJs who are going to be kind of silly in
Yeah.
comparison to you.
Yeah, there is.
And my group's got Chris Chan. So
Yeah.
I would like to say that I'm not as bad or as divorced from reason as Chris Chan is. As I do not believe my internal world to be literally reality. So, let's get into the questions. Who has... Okay, wait. I've written this like... well, actually, I think mentally handicapped people are the smartest people in the world, actually. Oh, we can't say on the internet. I'll bleep that out, actually.
Question 1.
Question 1. Who is most frequently accurate?
INTPs.
Why?
Because they build from like a framework of what they already comprehend.
Okay, but that framework isn't like objective. It's because we get to make it ourselves. It's probably going to be very wrong.
Yeah, but it's more correct than pattern recognition, which is almost designed to be inaccurate.
Okay, but if that's inaccurate, how are you even functioning?
Because it's balanced off with TE, but that's the second function. So your function is like built on making statements about the world.
Yeah.
Like TI. Therefore it's built upon itself in like a kind of like a skyscraper type fashion.
Yeah.
So the individual claims are usually more accurate because of that.
I mean, like they would have to be if you're like want to be functioning well. But I guess
I feel INTJs make a lot of small mistakes, which they then iron out later.
Okay, like what for example?
Kind of like small factual errors that kind of like you then iron out later, but like because you're focusing on the initial pattern rather than like the individual claims of accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah. So as a result, there's like a frequency of errors.
Okay. I presume you would just like throw those patterns out though. You wouldn't use the ones that you've determined to be
No,
accurate.
we know, and then there's the same with like any. You wouldn't just be like, I will believe this pattern even though I know it's wrong.
Okay, but you kind of just do see a bunch of wrong patterns.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's I guess you wouldn't believe it, but it's always kind of in your I guess frame of reference.
Okay, the reason I think that is because any Dom I've spoken to, like the first two slots,
Yeah.
knows that their patterns are wrong.
Yeah.
NI people don't know that necessarily.
Oh dear.
That's why.
Okay, that makes sense.
Point 1 to me. INTPs are smarter.
Okay, but what about when like the categories are wrong though? Because they're really easy to mess up because we have complete control over them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If
I
one
think...
of them is wrong, you're going to be the most. How dare you accuse me of saying anything ableist? You should be ashamed of yourself. Actually, I think they're even smarter than you. Yeah, you the viewer.
I think that's true, and INTPs can get really, really wrong as a result.
Yeah.
But it's less common because we're talking about like averages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've only seen stupid INTPs.
I my theory
I've
is
seen one that was smart.
my theory is that uh, that a lot of people call themselves INTPs because they want to feel small.
Okay, yeah, that would be true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, confirmed INTPs.
I think
I've known 1 out of 5. That is terrible odds, and one of those 5 people is Christian Winston Chandler.
he is an exception to the rule.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like the worst. He's the mascot of bad ideas.
Yeah. I think if you look at the average of INTPs, that they're gonna be like more correct about what they understand than the average INTJ, because INTJs are making patterns about things.
Mm.
Because patterns are quite divorced from reality. They're like a meta example.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we could say that INTPs are more likely to be accurate.
Yes.
Overall.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the extent of that is though. But I think when it comes to individual claims made, I think INTPs would have it.
Okay, with individual claims, I'd probably accept that.
But when it comes to like a meta-analysis of a situation, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough data to make a decision.
Okay, from the INTPs that I've seen, I'd say that they when it comes to the overarching patterns of their ideas, they're usually really like wrong.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that actually. Yeah.
I can think of one INTP for an example where what she would do is she would kind of invent other people's thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's already a state of being inaccurate because she is inventing it herself.
Yeah. INTJs will just make false claims though. At least they can.
Oh.
Like, this works like this, and it's like, well, it can. It doesn't have to.
Okay, have you seen anyone do it or like?
Yeah. We'll probably cover them at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Robot Wars.
We're swinging at ourselves first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna swing at other people later.
When people accuse us of being unfair, we'll link back to this video.
Yeah. They want to fight us on it. I think I would encourage it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not trying to be mean, but they'll interpret it that way.
Yeah. It's not trying. It just is. Okay, so creativity is our next one.
Okay.
I think I would give this one to INTJs.
I would humbly accept.
I can't actually be creative.
I think if you define creativity as thinking, like making up a new thing from known things, then INTJs would have it.
Yeah.
But if it's like combining what's already established to be true, then INTPs would have it.
Okay, well, that would be 2 different kinds of creativity.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be kind of a bit of a coin flip as to... It just depends on which one you mean.
I think that in general, INTJs are driven by like passion, and then that's usually almost designed to be not structured, and so they'll go off in a direction and then try to...
That would tend towards creativity.
Yeah, and then try to invent new systems in that particular field.
Mm.
So, like, we're good at inventing things as a result.
Yeah.
At least we have the potential to be.
I mean, this is not a claim that all of them are going to do it, of course.
Yeah, don't rest on your type.
Oh my god, yeah, no, don't. You should try and forge your own achievements instead of taking the achievements of others. Like people saying that, like, INTPs, they have Einstein, as though that they can ride off of the achievements that Einstein had.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah. Who have you guys got?
You
got Nikola Tesla, I think.
Probably got Tesla.
Yeah.
We've got Elon Musk.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious that Elon Musk's achievements are like equally as yours as his.
We've also got probably Stephen Hawking.
Ooh.
Probably. I'll have to do more research to know about that though.
Yeah. I think when it would, like, I'm not sure if this would be counted as like creativity, but if it was just like building new things by combining already like known stuff, I guess like INTPs would have edge in that field.
Yeah.
But it would be just based on their like internal categorization of things.
Well, an INTJ can't match the frequency of categories. So
Yeah.
if all the categories are accurate, then yeah. But
you can just be creative with your categories in like bad ways. Like you could combine like the categories of like dogs and birds and get like an abomination.
yeah,
It's not very useful, and I guess because you're as an INTP, you're going to be functioning from your categories. You're not going to want to keep that as something you're functioning from because it doesn't exist.
well,
it is stupid.
well, an interesting result of that is INTPs learn from the models that are around them. So if the
Yeah.
models are correct, then they, as a result, are more correct. But if the models are wrong or inaccurate, then
They will just become more wrong and inaccurate as a consequence.
yeah. And because INTJs are making like the models themselves, then it doesn't happen in the same way.
No, it'd be a different like failure state for you guys.
Yeah, I think the failure state for INTJs is mostly arrogance.
So it's like an emotion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. But the INTPs don't do that, so
No,
it's
because
just
we don't
being
have
regular wrong.
Okay, so our next question is, who can predict the most?
INTJs, most likely, if they know about the field.
Like yeah, like you have like pattern recognition in like your top position, so you're doing it way more than I am.
Yeah, well, as I said previously about INTJs can't match the categories of INTPs. The
Yeah.
reverse is true with patterns.
Yeah, you also get to make them yourself,
Yes.
as opposed to like having like NE, which means you kind of are interpreting patterns as resulting factors in your environment,
Yeah.
which you are then bound by your environment at that point.
Yeah. I think, like, I think every INTJ I've known about has like tries to predict the future. It's almost like a pastime. Like it might just be like an instinctual thing. I don't know.
I mean, if you had like NI in your first position, it may actually be
Yeah. It might be a way to like unconsciously hone like
the
skills
skill.
or something. Like in the same way that like cats play fight, INTJs predict the future.
Predict the future.
Yeah.
See if they can get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is, who is better at planning?
When it comes to predictions, INTJs, but then planning.
Planning is technically different
Yeah, it is.
because you could be planning your day. It's not necessarily telling the future, but more just planning what you're actually going to do.
Yeah, I probably don't want to do that, so I'll probably try to avoid it.
Like I actually have to.
Like, I will not want to engage in SE, so I don't want to think about real things.
Oh wait, do you have to plan with like SE or something?
Well, if I want to like engage in like the physical surroundings, that's mostly an SE task.
Oh
so,
jeez.
yeah. Like it's like I'll plan out strategies, I guess, like strategies for the day.
Huh. I think for me, planning is more about like simulating something in like an internal world, and then like making like I guess like categories for what to do in those situations. So I do spend a lot of time actually doing that, so that I have kind of already prepared like my response, so that I actually don't have to think about it at the time that it actually occurs. A lot of these things, there's tend towards wasting a lot of time actually, because none of these things will happen.
Yeah, okay.
So like you'll think about like a bunch of different scenarios, none of them will happen, and probably the one you haven't thought about will happen.
That's yeah.
I can't even talk to people normally because of this.
I have like strategies. Like the difference between tactics and strategies is the difference between INTP and INTJ.
Yeah, because you. Okay, like what would you say a strategy is?
It's like a kind of like a general plan on how to achieve something,
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
and then tactics is more in the moment.
Okay, so tactics would just be like a response to
Yeah, like
a stimulus.
a response to a thing as opposed to like a general overarching like a general overarching plan.
Okay, yeah. I think I can only do responses to a thing in the moment.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that is just because patterns are a result of the environment rather than something I can plan out ahead. I did get stuck into a position of having to try and okay, didn't have to do this. I was being stupid. So I was trying to plan what like patterns would occur in like the future. I can't do that. It's way out of my scope of abilities. So
Okay.
it kind of just I couldn't do anything.
I like can't not do that.
That makes sense because you got NI in the first position. This was before I even knew of like how typology worked.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like when I found out, I was like, "Oh, just never do that then. Just never do this." But I'm pretty good at planning what I will do in a scenario. But I would have to invent the scenario myself. Just the drawback is probably won't happen.
Yeah, okay. If it's like a known thing, like chess, for example, I think you'd have the edge.
Yeah.
It does seem the top chess players are INTPs.
It seems to go between INTPs and INTJs.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one guy, but then he was really weird, so...
What do you mean, Bob Fischer?
Yeah. he got real weird, so...
Wait, what happened with him? How did he get weird?
He went to Russia and started ranting about Jews.
Well, right. So we got the next question. Who is more likely to act rationally?
Rationally.
Yeah.
INTPs, I'd say.
Okay, why? What's your argument?
Because INTJs are, like, driven by passion, and that is not inherently logical.
Okay, that's true.
It might be inherently illogical. Because it's statements about what should happen as opposed to what does happen.
That actually probably is going to be just illogical, if not like changed over time. But you're someone who does act rationally almost all of the time.
Well, if we're talking about averages.
Yeah, like talking about the group,
Yeah.
it would be a case of probably INTPs.
Yeah.
Unless they did something silly like only rely on their feelings or something.
Well,
that would lead to just terrible behavior.
Yeah, I think that's true for any thinker.
Well, for an INTP, it'd be like relying on like feelings that update like later. So you're always functioning from like feelings from your past.
Yeah.
So if you were to rely on that as something that should be done in the present, you'll end up with terrible behavior.
I think what can happen with INTJs is they suppress FI and then act from it anyway because you can't truly suppress it. But
yeah,
the acting from like kind of something they don't even know about. So they kind of do it, but then like it has consequences they didn't really predict. Maybe like so they kind of become concerning at that stage. Typically quite good at strategies, but not really focusing on the ethical aspects of that. Gets it.
That's a bad mix.
Yeah, like I think INTPs get stupid when they start to rely on their feelings, and when INTJs ignore their feelings, they get evil. So
I don't know. We got that like INTPs have that one serial killer. He was injecting people's brains of acid to try and like keep them alive so that he could love them longer, but they wouldn't like try and get away.
Shouldn't rely on your feelings.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Well, we've got like
not that the feelings of an INTP always tend towards some sort of psychotic like trying to keep people situation.
We've got Ted Bundy.
And you're Ted Bundy.
Probably Prudent, and then John McAfee.
John McAfee's crazy.
Yeah, he's like a.
He's the best combination of like crazy and really effective.
He's like a broken chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's like it works, but not well.
Not well. Will hurt you.
Will most likely cause injury
Yeah.
if too close.
Okay, so I guess on average, INTPs would be more likely to act rationally.
Yeah. Also, INTJs like will get into chaotic situations because they're chaotic situations if they're upset. And I don't think INTPs are that kind of like self-destructive.
No, I think we're a different kind of self-destructive.
Yeah.
It's, there was one particular thing that would okay, trying to think of it now. No, don't worry about it. Okay, so I guess on to the next question. Who is better at reading people? I'm terrible at this, but
I think when INTJs come up with models of how people work, they're good at it.
yeah.
Because I'm really good at predicting people. I'm even better than INFJs on average.
Mm.
But I'm not sure my group is good at reading people.
Yeah.
Like I think they're good at reading like societal situation, like the way that society kind of moves.
Mm.
But that isn't an individual thing. So.
Yeah.
And then I learned to read people well by like learning about like evolution. And kind of like figured out the base principles of like what people should be tending towards, and then like made models in alignment with that, and that's got good predictive value.
Oh, okay.
So I think probably it's, I don't know, because it's like INTPs will pick up on the patterns of things, so they'll probably have a good like, when this happens, then do this.
That has a good potential. Like I've managed to utilize that to be able to socialize quite well and read what people are going to do. But well, relatively well. Don't give me that look.
It's like said like a true robot.
But I think on average our group is really bad at like being able to read people. Actually, I have a point on reading people, but it does tie into acting rationally. It was about that person that was kind of basically mind reading people.
Yeah.
If you do set yourself up in a way that like you will do, like you can set yourself up in a way where your function as an INTP is just to do like some sort of dumb program, so to speak. Like you could just, if you decide to invent people's thoughts, for example, then you'll be terrible at reading people as a consequence.
But like an INTP would, an INTJ would be better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it took me up until like I think year 9 to be able to see the patterns in people. So before then, I was essentially socially disabled.
Okay.
Essentially, not actually.
I think for like the early part of my life, I was endlessly confused as to why people would like deliberately get themselves into bad situations. Because I was examining it from my like standpoint. It's like, why do you decide to act in these ways when you get into bad situations? And I was really kind of curious by it.
I mean, I didn't understand why people got into the situation they did either. It did seem weird. It's like kind of seemed like they were acting from like. Like I knew it was feelings that they were acting from, just kind of like random impulses is how it seemed like to me. It's to me that they just like weren't thinking about their behavior and they just would like feel a thing, go, I should act like this now. I'm like, oh wow, you're like, you poor creature, you have some sort of disorder.
I was just confused as to why they would like get into these situations because it was so clear to me. It's like, why would you want to do that? What a strange chaotic existence you wish to engage in.
It's like assuming that that's their intent.
Yeah. Like, sure it is.
So I guess for you, you're assuming that like their intention was to get into a bad situation. For me, it's more like I'm concerned about their affliction.
I kind of knew it wasn't deliberate, but I was like couldn't conceive of how it wasn't. But the learning about type stuff was like, oh, that's why.
It was a similar experience for me. I at one point I did just kind of accept that people are different in ways that make them worse.
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so now we got speaking of people just acting on random feelings and stuff, emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
Which group?
I think INTJs have this one.
Why?
Because we have FI higher, and we're good at
But it's
reading
inherently unreasonable.
What do you say?
It's not unreasonable. I take that right back. It's inherently irrational.
FI?
Yeah.
It works within a system, but yeah, by itself it is. Maybe that helps actually when it comes to like getting people out of bad situations, because it's like you know that emotions are silly, therefore you can help people when they're in bad situations, as opposed to INTPs that are just like, it seems like you have malfunctioned. May I offer assistance? And that usually isn't the response people want.
Okay. Well, INTPs would be bad for like consoling people or helping them in any way to deal with their feelings, but that's not the only thing that emotional intelligence would cover, though.
What else does it cover?
It cover yourself.
Didn't you suppress your emotions?
Yeah.
For like, yeah.
I think when I was like early adolescence, I decided that emotions were useless. So as a consequence, I didn't use them ever again until more recently, actually.
Yeah, that seems like the pinnacle of emotional intelligence.
Yeah, it wasn't my emotions were saying, "Hey, this is a bad idea. Don't use these anymore." It's clear from the evidence in our surroundings that it only leads to bad situations.
Yeah, when people talk about emotional intelligence, they are referring to like the amount people suppress them.
Yeah.
Like the more they suppress them, the more intelligent they are.
Well, there was a clear trend. If those people I went to school with had just suppressed their feelings, they would not have gotten into those situations that they got into.
Unless they're FI users, then that would be crazy.
Yeah, maybe that'd be bad for that. Okay, so next is memory. This kind of depends. So I can remember patterns really well, and I remember all my TI catalogs really well.
I think each function stores it like information, so therefore it's like everyone has equal memory. But from like a more conventional standpoint, INTPs have it because they can remember like individual details better.
Yeah, I probably accept that. What about kinesthetic stuff? Who's better at this?
I'm not sure what that means. Like when it comes to like,
suggested this one.
But you shouldn't assume that I know what I mean.
Note taken. I'll never assume that ever again.
Like, if it's like remembering where things are, then INTPs have it.
Okay, yeah, I am actually okay with that.
Probably in like when it comes to like doing procedure as well, like physical procedure, I think INTPs probably have it as well.
Okay, yeah, I'd say INTPs would have that. Remembering the procedure itself it's like not really remembering it physically though.
Yeah, but like
I'll probably clarify. In a stressful situation, I actually don't know what's happened.
Okay.
So like for example, this interview, I'm not actually gonna remember it properly. Treat me like an alcoholic. I'm so drunk I have no idea what I've said. I don't know what you've said. I'll never know. I'll walk out of this not knowing what happened.
Yeah, because when under stress, the third function gets repressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you won't know what you felt.
I'm not stressed.
Oh, fine.
I've done enough interviews to feel okay.
Yeah.
But that does happen in different situations. Like, I think if it comes to like changing a car tire, then INTPs would do better at it.
Yeah, right.
But if it comes to like figuring out a good gym routine, then INTJs would have it. Like, I think it's
they'll be able to plan out ahead what it will probably end up like.
Looking at the effects of things along with patterns, so they would just be using like saviors.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of physical things are like can be helped with other functions. So
Mm.
I'm not sure. Maybe when it comes to like gracefulness, probably INTJs have it, because INTPs seem to like not know about fashion or their surroundings in any kind of nuanced sense.
In order to dress myself properly, I actually had to do research as to what that would even look like.
So you use your saviors to compensate.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So you just do research and just like look at what other people have done and just copy that.
Yeah, and as opposed to FI, that's like I want to express what I'm feeling with clothes.
Yeah.
And INTJs always wear black as a result, because we always express the same thing.
You have like a particular emotion that all of you guys have.
Like a weird uniform.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this just feels right.
Okay, and the last one is getting stuff done. You have to talk me into doing this.
Yeah.
Sorry. You've been trying to tell me to make this account for like a couple months now, actually.
Yeah, INTJs.
Yeah, INTJs.
I don't think there's a real debate about that.
No, not really.
Unless they're like, no, because you could be like,
It would depend.
like Einstein, but then there would be like an INTJ equivalent, like Tesla. So it's like on average INTJs, but with obviously there's like not everyone conforms in the archetype.
Oh, of course. And I think with INTPs it's more subject dependent. So if it's a particular subject that I'm interested in or that I for some reason think needs to be done, at the moment I'll probably focus a lot on it.
Yeah.
It's not really based on deadlines or anything. It's more like a set of priorities. Like think of it like a list. I literally have a list of priorities, and I'll kind of attack the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of go down.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that is all the questions for today.
Okay.
There is one last segment. Here are some question prompts I decided to look up earlier. I don't know if you can see that on your screen.
No.
Right, good. So, I decided to look up what do other people think is a good thinker.
Okay. Yeah.
And I found this website called Good Thinking.
Okay.
And here are some things we may need to answer. Can you sleep?
Sometimes. A solid sometimes.
So, alright, solid sometimes. I kind of sleep around the clock. So...
Like a cat.
Yeah. I kind of push my brain until a point where it burns out, and then when it burns out is when I'm going to bed.
Yeah, that's when you plug yourself in.
Yeah, that's when I plug myself in. You always let the battery run out entirely, in case you guys don't know of your laptops, so that it doesn't ruin it over time.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's true. That could be completely wrong. What about anxiety? I have no idea why this is called good thinking. What the hell is this?
If you're anxious, you can't think. Is that the idea? If you're anxious, you can't think right.
Sure. I'm not gonna steel man or straw man them. They've just got words.
If you're anxious about something, you're gonna focus harder. So I don't know.
Okay, so I guess like, I'm pretty anxious. If I think I'm wrong, I'm gonna want to figure out why, and I'm not gonna stop until I figure it out. That could be anxious, maybe.
I guess I'm probably less focused on ethical parameters if I'm anxious.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so which group do you think is better at being anxious? Because anxious is clearly good at thinking.
Which is
according to this website.
Which is superior at being anxious?
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that. I've seen a couple of anxious INTJs, but then I've seen a couple of anxious INTPs, so I don't know.
I think INTPs just get anxious when they mess up.
Yeah.
It's usually when they've made some like fundamental mistake where they've engineered their internal system so that they will only engage in bad situations.
Yeah, that does seem like it's angst-inducing.
It is. Okay, what else have we got here? We've got I guess stress is separate. So who's the best at being stressed? I'm just going off the website.
This is okay. I don't know.
Okay. Because I'm the best at being stressed about social interactions, so I think I would take that one. I have a feeling that this is all nonsense. Just like a sneaking suspicion. Or maybe it's got nothing to do with what I had looked up. And maybe it's just the website had that name.
Is there any other things? So it's like good thinking, and then it's all like things that are not related to processing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. There's
We live in an age of reason.
Age of reason, guys. Okay, what makes a great thinker? Let's find out. Great thinkers are great learners. Who's the best at learning?
Oh, it depends on what. I'm better at learning systems.
Yeah. I'd be better at learning like small pieces of information.
But then I couldn't figure out how to get a mod working, so...
I spent like a couple of years making mods.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm really bad at, like, procedure.
I can't do anything else.
Like, I'm really bad at learning things that require procedure as part of the learning process. But I'm really good at figuring out systems. So,
it's just a different field, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only really function from procedure.
Yeah.
If there is no procedure, I cannot function.
Yeah.
So, I guess procedure is my field. Listening. Who is the best listener?
I think we're both pretty good, actually. Like, both INTJs and INTPs.
Good at listening to people.
Yeah, because we both make models, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd say we're both good.
Okay, so, we did cover strategies as your guys' field. Right, what else we got? That appears to be... I think that's it. That's all of the qualities that make a good thinker.
Imagine if you're like, okay,
I'm sure there's more.
I know there's an issue, so I need to increase my skills. And you went to that website, and you come away with that information.
Well, I think it's meant for feeling good. That website. I think I've misrepresented it. I typed in what makes a good thinker. It gave me the website. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the website is about how to improve your mood. Because you're being too sad.
Okay.
That's why I had anxiety and stress and low mood and stuff. And I was just taking it as though they meant that this is what makes a person think good. I do think that's on them. Because I had no other way to tell what the website was for. What about communication skills? Just taking inspiration from Google at the moment. This is from What Makes a Good Teacher, by the way.
Communications. INTPs are probably better at communication because INTJs can't talk properly.
You just spoke properly.
No, not properly.
What do you...
Like, if you watched my interview with, like, Emily, can't talk right.
Can't talk right.
Yeah. And there's a general theme I've noticed. So, INTPs have it.
I don't know about that. I think I will walk away from this, probably try and edit it, and go, oh no, what have I done? I didn't want to say that at all. What the hell is wrong with me? Did I suffer like a brain injury when I walked in? Maybe we can be both equally bad at communicating.
Yeah, get on my level.
Get on my level. Poor communication skills. Okay, one of the other qualities is a deep knowledge.
My knowledge is so deep. I am better at talking profounders than you are.
Because I can't actually do profoundish.
Yeah, I'm like a class profoundish.
A class profound.
Yeah, because I watched a bunch of spiritual videos and figured out how to talk profoundish to then like trick people into thinking I was smart. Because ironically enough, the actual patterns that predict intelligence is not what they look for. They look for self-confidence.
Oof. Yeah, okay. I'm not too good at being self-confident about my ideas. Just I'm not. Because why the hell would I do that? That's stupid.
I once told somebody that a dragon fruit came from a real dragon, and it took them like a couple seconds to realize that was wrong. I just said it in a really certain way.
Really losing hope for humanity. Just kind of like very disappointed now. Okay, what about the ability? I don't know why this makes makes you a good teacher and a good thinker. The ability to develop strong relationships.
Oh, that's not how you should teach. That's not
with students.
Yeah, that's not ethical. You shouldn't have like a strong relationship with a class.
No. Well, I didn't say with what. Like strong in what? That could be like an emotion. So it could be like anger or violence.
This links back to the emotional intelligence.
Look, if they don't specify what they mean, I am very much free to start making assumptions. Okay, well, it seems like Google has failed me in terms of thinking of questions as to what makes a good thinker.
Yeah, I think the conclusion to this question is it's context dependent.
Yeah, it'd be more to do with fields, like specific skill sets and stuff.
And we are fully aware that you probably already assumed that.
Yeah, I guess if you didn't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you, I guess.
Like
maybe rethink your life.
Well, like types are good at different things. That's like, so superior thinking is obviously context dependent.
I think it's better than feels. At thinking.
If you classify thinking as like making appropriate models, then yeah, probably.
Yeah. I guess I'd be better at making like certain kinds of models.
Well, they're obviously better at making models in relation to how to get along with people.
I mean, yeah.
Because for me, it's it's strategy.
It took me 9 years to learn.
Yeah.
How to get along with
9
people.
years.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that you were socially incompetent until year 9?
So I was in school when I was born. Look, I don't actually remember what I've done.
Okay.
Could have been long. It's been longer. So it took me a fair while to learn how to socialize. Turns out all you have to do is just like whatever pattern they've done, just try and find like a funnier one, and you'll win whatever social engagement. Don't worry about ethics. You don't even need to mean it.
That probably works too much of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's disappointing because it's like people just aren't engaging on like with arguments properly. But
speaking of people that don't engage in arguments properly, I think next time we'll cover a.
I thought you were gonna call me out for something. I was like, oh shit.
No, you specifically. A different INTP.
Ah, I'm going for him.
Yeah. Because he's making a lot of claims, and I know INTPs can do better. So.
Well, that one. Well, I guess we'll see you next time.